Hello everybody in YouTube land. How are you doing? It's me, Gianna. Okay, so here's what I want to do today. I want to break it down. What does this mean exactly? Well, breaking it down is all about breaking those walls down in your life and kind of coming to terms with everything that you know and what you know to be true and what other people see. So first off, I'm going to touch base with when I was 12 years old. When I was 12, my mother and my father would, whom I loved dearly, would leave the house occasionally and they'd let me stay home alone. Is this abnormal? No, because I was a very good child. For the most part, I didn't do anything bad. And they respected me. My family respected me, and the neighbors respected me, and we lived in a small little community neighborhood, and it worked out good. So didn't have to worry much about things like people breaking in or anything. So, but I would take my mom's clothes and I would wear them like most transgendered women do. They steal mom's clothes and wear them because that makes you feel really good. It makes you feel like a princess or a beautiful woman or something. And my mom had a lot of cool 80s clothes, so a lot of powery jumpsuits and stuff. You felt really powerful, and I'm like, look at me, I'm a 80s working woman or something. But nonetheless, I loved him, and I loved, just being myself whenever I could. Another wall that kind of has to come down is friendship. A lot of the people that you swear or that you hold dear to your heart, they're not always as good as they seem to be. So you kind of have to, you have to pick and choose who's important in your life and who isn't. I had to get rid of a lot of friends, and not so much because of transition, just because I knew deep down inside that someday these people weren't going to be there for me. So I decided I wasn't going to be there for them anymore either. How did I know? I don't know. I just knew. The ones that I did keep, though, very important to me. One of them, my friend Angela, she is just amazing. She's a powerhouse, a very super strong woman, an absolute role model. And when I was younger, she was the person who brought me out of my shy little shell. Let's see here. I mean, when you're young and you're shy and you hold everything inside and you're meek and you're like this and nobody talks to you, it's because you don't have confidence, because you don't step out there and show them that you can talk to them as well. So part of that was her getting me into role-playing games. And I know you're going to think, what? Okay. Now, I played, excuse me, I played Dungeons and Dragons, and I loved it dearly, because where else can you be somebody you're not for a couple of hours of the day and just enjoy yourself and have fun and be somebody different? Where can you do that? Well, at that time in my life, the only place that I knew of was at my friend Angela's house with her friends who were into the game. But getting out there and doing it, believe it or not, because you interacted with these people, it really helps you get out of your shell. It makes you feel like you're not stuck in this little world of box or anything. You're not stuck. You can be anybody. You can be whatever you want. So that was another wall that had to come down, was the whole getting out of my shell and not being so shy and kind of forcing myself to be out there for everybody, for myself. Another wall to come down was the first time I showed anybody myself, who I am. And that was a couch surfing friend of mine, if you will. He had no place to go. I put him up in my house when I was living in the beach area. Him and his cat. And I would have kept the cat. Him, not so much. But he was the first person I showed that I wanted to be a woman. And oddly enough, he didn't run away. Although he did need a place to stay, so he was kind of like a captive audience. What's better than a captive audience? You're watching now. No. So, I don't know. It was interesting, though, because the first time I told him, he was like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of weird. But at the same time, he didn't, like I said, he didn't take off or anything, and I think it was because, we had a good friendship anyway, and he was a good person in general. When I was living in the beach area, I met a girl, and she later became my fiancée. And there was issues with that. She hurt me a lot. She cheated on me. She did a lot of things that I would have thought no woman should ever do to any man. But she did. And in doing so, she hurt herself, though, because she created a little world around herself where she was hiding things, keeping secrets, and so was I, but I guess mine didn't bother me as much at the time. I think mainly what bothered her is that she was seeing other people, and it gave her a panic attack, or several. Those panic attacks were really weird because, I tried to help her as much as I could, but I really didn't know the root, so I couldn't really do anything. Turns out the root was her being unhappy with herself because she was not being true to me. So that wall that had to come down was the realization that she wasn't right for me and I wasn't right for her. The next wall to come down was finding out about my son. I was at the point where I was actually ready to start talking to people about transition and finding a therapist and doing whatever I could to get myself rolling on that in that process. And then I received a summons at work for a paternity suit. And you're thinking, ooh, look at that girl. How could she have a paternity suit? Well, I wasn't always born a girl. I was born differently. Differently. If you hadn't figured that out already. But regardless of that fact, I realized that there was no way I could transition and have a son at the same time, at least not at that point. He needed to see his father, and I needed to give him one for at least some years, and it's been 5 years now, and like I said, I'm about to explode, I'm about to crack. Every year it gets a little harder to hide my feminine side, if you will. So, I don't know. That was the last wall, really, is breaking down the whole thought of how am I going to tell people? How am I going to go about doing this? Really, YouTube is kind of a good place to do it because you can voice your opinion and people will listen. And maybe they'll feedback, too. Give me some feedback. Comment on my videos. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you, or maybe you can help me. I don't know. But regardless of that, I don't know. I just want people to realize that you have to break down certain walls to get going on your life and to kind of be who you really want to be. Be yourself, but be the person that you really see yourself as. Don't cover up anymore. Don't hide. Take all the strength that you've learned from other people and make it your own. Take their confidence, take their joy, take everything that they're willing to offer you, and be proud about it and step out there. And to all my new friends, all of you that I've met in the last year, the same thing goes for you. Be confident. Get out there and have fun. Be lovely. Be beautiful. Be gorgeous. Be yourself. Because we're all beautiful. And we're all pink inside, so it doesn't really matter what color, creed, sex, race, religion you are. We all have something in common. We all bleed red. So just be happy. And hopefully someday you can be yourself and be happy. And hopefully I will be strong enough to do this for myself. That's about it. I mean, up until 2009, I guess. It's now 2010, though, which is really weird. So, up until 2010, I should say, be strong and get out there and be what you can be. Be yourself and be happy. And break down walls, because there's no reason to have walls. Okay, everybody. This is Gianna. Have a good night. Take care of yourself.